How's everyone doing today? It's your boy, JJ Domination, and today we're going to be talking about some big news that happened last night via the draft. And it has to do with my Green Bay Packers, man. They drafted a quarterback. What? Why would they do that? They got Aaron Rodgers. That's what they were saying in 2005. Why would you do that? They have Brett Favre. So, we're going to dive into it. I'm going to give my thoughts on Jordan Love, the player, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on Green Bay actually picking them. I'm going to try to argue for both sides. I don't want to, be biased. You know what I'm saying? And then, I guess just kind of talk about things in general that may surround this pick. Jordan Love is a prospect. I don't do quarterback rankings. I don't do positional rankings. I don't do big boards. That stuff is so stupid, to be honest. Well, maybe not positional rankings, but big boards are stupid. Why would I argue over the 49th and 50th best player? Who cares? Who really cares that much? Oh, well, you had this player ranked at 50, and the guy that was at 49 ended up being worse, so you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, who cares? It's a one-spot difference. Anyway, when it comes to Jordan Love, if I had a quarterback ranking, he'd probably be my third favorite quarterback in the draft, behind Joe Burrow and a healthy, less compromised Tua. I mean, listen, you can't deny what Tua has done, and I'm talking strictly as prospects, not who's going to have the better NFL career. As prospects, everybody knows it's Joe Burrow and Tua. In terms of who has the better NFL career, well, shoot, it might be Jordan Love. It might be. He's in a pretty damn good situation. But Jordan Love is a prospect. He was my third favorite quarterback out of the bunch if I had a quarterback ranking. He did lead the FBS in interceptions. He had 17 interceptions. Still went in the first round, though. His senior year was rough. I'm going to be honest. It was. He also lost 9 out of 10 starters. A whole coaching staff pretty much on offense. And the coach that was there that led him to their 11-1 record took a job elsewhere. He got his bag, went elsewhere. And that change obviously did not benefit anyone, including Jordan Love. But you look at his season before that, I think he had like 32 touchdowns, 6 interceptions or something. He was very good his junior season or his sophomore season, whenever it was. He was very good. His film really stands out, including that bowl game as well. He definitely does show the upside of being a pretty damn good quarterback. A lot of people giving him the Patrick Mahomes upside. If you've been following me, listening to some mock drafts where I have Jordan Love going to different teams, I've pretty much been on the Josh Allen, Carson Wentz comparison. That's who he reminds me of. He's got the mobility and the craziness of Josh Allen and the playmaking of Carson Wentz and the ability to evade pressure, throw off-platform, throw different types of passes. And maybe he lives up to that at the NFL level, his potential. But, the quarterback position, it's kind of like the stock market. You got to make an investment. And you got to be smart about it. And Green Bay made a hell of an investment. They spent a first-round pick on him, and normally, when you spend the first-round pick on a quarterback, you think he's going to be your franchise guy someday. And obviously, with that pick, Green Bay obviously thinks that. So, it's a very interesting move. It's bold. It is bold as hell because you have Aaron Rodgers on your team, and he's got 4 years left on his contract. But is he actually going to make it to the end of that contract? And, and I'm not saying this to be negative. I love Aaron Rodgers. If it were up to me, I want Aaron Rodgers to play forever. I never want him to leave. But, at some point he is. And at some point he's going to retire. Or maybe demand a trade. Or pull a Brett Favre and quote-unquote retire. Just go somewhere else. That's something that could happen with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe all of this turns him off. But we've seen the same situation happen 15 years ago. And, I didn't want to believe it. I was just as much in denial as everyone else about us taking a quarterback. When I saw that we traded up with the Miami Dolphins to pick 26, I was thinking, okay, maybe we're going to go with a corner that we really like that we just don't want to wait around for. Maybe we go Patrick Queen, even though I think Kenneth Murray, who had just went 3 picks before, is a better fit for Mike Pettine's defense. Not that Patrick Queen's a bad player. That's where I think people get confused. I like Patrick Queen. I just did not view him as a fit in our defense, so it wouldn't be the best used pick, and plus Kenneth Murray for me was higher on my board. If I had an imaginary big board positional ranking thing, I just like Kenneth Murray more. He brings more versatility to the game right now as a prospect. But Patrick Queen, very young at that linebacker position, so he's got a ways to go in his development, which could be good because he's going to Baltimore. But I'll react to the first round picks on another day and talk about teams who I thought, quote unquote, had a great draft, won the draft or whatever. But 15 years ago, I was 5 years old when it happened, maybe 4 or 5, I can't remember, but I had been watching football basically my entire life, but I was not old enough to comprehend the situation. We had Brett Favre on the team at the time we selected Aaron Rodgers. He was a really good quarterback prospect, projected to go even as high as number 1, but he just kept slipping and slipping and slipping, and Green Bay was like, enough's enough, we're going to take him. Sure, we have other needs right now, but we're going to take him. Sure, we can add another corner. Sure, we could, at that time, maybe add another inside linebacker. But you know what, man? Going to take a corner. I don't really know at that time what Green Bay's needs were. Maybe they didn't have a whole lot of needs. Maybe they did. But they went with the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, shocking the world. You guys have Brett Favre. Favre is playing at such a high level, why would you make that selection? And it rubbed Brett Favre the wrong way, and I'm pretty sure it rubbed a lot of Packer fans the wrong way. But you know what? It worked out in the end for both guys. It was tough seeing Brett Favre go to the Minnesota Vikings. It was, but you know what? I found myself in a bittersweet situation where he was in the playoffs, he had kicked our ass, not in the playoffs, but in the regular season, kicked our ass. And I found myself in a bittersweet situation as a kid where I was rooting for Favre to get to the Super Bowl. I really was, and I honestly thought that year, if the Vikings would have made the Super Bowl, they were going to win. They were going to beat the Colts. That's what I told myself as like a 9, 10-year-old kid at the time. They're going to beat the Colts if they get to the Super Bowl. That's what I kept telling myself. It was Viking Saints, NFC Championship. We all know how it ended. We all know the controversy behind it. We all know Favre's interception thrown to Tracy Porter basically put it away in overtime. We know that, okay? But at that time, man, I was convinced that the Vikings were going to win. Their team was freaking stacked, man. And they didn't make it to the Super Bowl that year. I was a little, like, damn, okay. But, I've always been a Packer fan. But you know what? Brett Favre was so close to me at that time when I was coming up as a little kid that I was rooting for him. I was rooting for him to have success and continue to be a good quarterback. And he was up until he was 41. And if that situation happens with Aaron Rodgers all over again, same team, same scenario, I'm going to root for Aaron Rodgers to do some good things, but when we play him, we better kick his ass, okay? I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. But it looks like, you know what they say about history, right? It repeats itself. And I think that's what's going on here. I don't know if Jordan Love's going to be the next great quarterback or not. He sure as hell has the upside, but I don't know if he will be, but he's in a great situation to learn from Aaron Rodgers, one of the greats, a young-minded Matt LaFleur who isn't a dummy. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. As a coordinator, he wants to use the tight ends. He wants to use the running back. You got these big possession receivers that you can throw it in a spot on a dime and get it to him. He knows what he's doing. He ain't stupid. He's not a dummy. As for Brian Gutekunst, it doesn't matter what picks he's made in the past. This is the one he's going to be judged off of. This pick will define his career as a general manager. Not the Jair Alexander pick that he traded twice in the first round to get. Not the Darnell Savage selection that he traded up for. Got a great safety, in my opinion, someday, but he's been pretty good so far. It's not about the Rashawn Gary pick, who he's going to have an increased workload in 2020 now that Kyler Fackrell's gone. It's not about any of those picks. It's not about any of those first-round picks. The pick that he is going to be judged and critiqued off of for the rest of his career will be this Jordan Love pick. And if he just drafted the next Aaron Rodgers, if he just drafted the next Patrick Mahomes, as people are claiming, well, he's going to go down as a great general manager. But if he doesn't, then he's a guy who took a big swing and missed on a team that honestly was a couple of pieces away from being in a Super Bowl. They were just in the NFC title game last year, and they drafted a quarterback. I get the frustration behind it. But I like the thinking, because the reality is Aaron Rodgers can't play forever. I love Aaron Rodgers. Is he my favorite Packer quarterback of all time? Nah, I'd say it's Brett Favre. But I love Aaron Rodgers. I love watching this man play. You know, I love all of the vintage moments. I love all of the crazy throws he can make. I love his playmaking. And I think he's influenced a lot of quarterbacks in today's game. I would say him and Russell Wilson have really influenced the game today. You look at Patrick Mahomes. He's a Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers clone. I mean, that's what everybody wants to be. Everybody's looking for that next Patrick Mahomes now. And people think it's going to be Jordan Love. I'm excited, and I hope it is. Because we just spent a first-round pick. We put a hell of an investment into him. And I hope it pays off someday. I hope it pays off someday. That's all I can really say. But, man, I've enjoyed Aaron Rodgers. And the thing is, this year, my dad would always tell me, you know, this year, like, just cherish the season. Cherish this season. We may not be this good in a little bit, or maybe we will, but he was just telling me, man, you got to cherish this season. You got to appreciate everything this year, because we've been a damn good team. You know, that's what he would always tell me. Appreciate the season. Cherish every week of this season. And I think I know why, because that pick happened. And, you know, there are people out there, including me to a degree, everything happens for a reason. And I think this is the Packers' way of just preparing for the future and putting some pressure on Rodgers. I don't think there's legitimate pressure on him. He's going to be the quarterback for the next couple of years. But, hey, I'm not saying this to be funny, but what if Aaron Rodgers comes out and wins the MVP? What if we see Aaron Rodgers have his best season since 2014? I don't think it's impossible. Shoot, I had Aaron Rodgers as a top 3 favorite last year to win MVP. I don't think it's impossible. He definitely could. You know, people are saying he's declining. And yeah, he didn't look like his old self back, you know, this year. He didn't. I agree. People are saying, you know, he's fallen off. He's washed. He ain't the same guy he used to be. He's overrated. Blah, blah, blah. Time to change shit up. And all of a sudden, they draft Jordan Love. This is going to send a message. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a hell of a response for everybody. I don't know if he'll win the MVP. I haven't seen the guy throw for 5,000 yards yet. He just might. I don't know, man. I think this might light a little fire under him. But I know the media and fans, you know, they're going to be like, oh, you know, he's just going to be a prick. He's just going to be a douchebag. We know how Aaron Rodgers is. And maybe he will. Or maybe he'll be receptive. Maybe unlike Brett Favre, he'll put his arm around Jordan Love. He'll coddle him. He'll show him the ways. He'll train him to be the next him. You know, maybe he'll have a little sarcasm with it too. Like, oh, this is the guy y'all are replacing me with? Well, here, you better be better than me someday, kid. I'll show you the way, but you better go out there and be better than me. Maybe there'll be a little sarcasm tone to it, and maybe this will light a fire under everyone. Maybe this will inspire Jordan Love to be better than Aaron Rodgers. Maybe this will inspire Aaron Rodgers to elevate his play and try to go back to his 2014 ways, where he was just going crazy on everyone. Maybe this lights a fire under everyone. Maybe this is a pick that just wakes up everybody in the building. Like, hey, we can draft your replacement even for Aaron Rodgers at any moment. You know, maybe this is just a little wake-up call. Hey, we can draft your replacement in the first round if we want to and get you the hell up out of here. But with that being said, this is a hell of an investment. A first round pick for a quarterback that probably won't play for at least 2 seasons. But if Brian Gutekunst hits on this pick, if he ends up being right about Jordan Love, if his homework is correct on Jordan Love, if he does live up to what the scouts believe he will live up to, or even close, even if he's a Carson Wentz type, that's still a pretty damn good quarterback. People are high on Carson Wentz. Really high on Carson Wentz, even higher than me. So that's still a... Think about it. Carson Wentz was, what, the 2nd overall pick in the draft? If you're drafting Carson Wentz at 26th overall, you got some great value there. So even if this man does end up being Carson Wentz, I mean, that's still a home run, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Jordan Love will live up to his potential someday? You know, do you think this is the perfect situation for Jordan Love? And, you know, give me your thoughts on Packer fans, man. A lot of Packer fans have been hella negative on social media. I've just been screenshotting a whole lot of comments, bro. I'm going to make like an album on all of the negative screenshots, or all of the negative comments and posts about Jordan Love and about the Packers. I'm just going to make a full-on album. It's probably going to be 100+ photos. I'm excited because I love when people overreact like this. I love when people go crazy on social media and want to burn jerseys and shit. I love that. I love it because they're fucking idiots, you know? But let me know what you guys think down below about the pick in general, maybe about the quote-unquote controversy in the room. And, yeah. Next couple of videos, I'll be recapping what happened in the first round overall, pick for pick. I plan on doing a video where I go back on my mock draft 1.0 and compare that to what actually happened in the first round, and then we'll talk about quote-unquote who won the draft and stuff like that. But I have some content planned around the draft. Hopefully you guys enjoy. And, yeah. Peace out, guys. Enjoy the rest of the draft. Night 2 and night 3 this week.